Hey everybody, how's it going tonight? Well, the sun is set, and by the time that this video goes up, I'll probably be well out of this home and moved, hopefully, to my new place in the western part of New York. It's been a great ride here these past few years. My channel has grown to over 400 subscribers, approaching 500. Almost halfway to being monetized again. Thank you to your, thanks to your patronage, even though I don't have a Patreon. But still, thank you very much for watching. I hope that we'll continue to grow in the future, and I hope to still make content that is worthy of your time. That being said, some of the ideas that have come across my plate, I will go over sort of the new things that you can expect from new episodes when they decide to show up on the channel. I will post also, check my Twitter account, because the time that this thing comes out, I will say about how long I think it'll take to get the new videos up and running. But until then, there will probably be a hiatus of videos. I believe I would have made enough in order to keep it going. But if not, then you're going to see this video, and this will be the last update until the new Rooview comes out. It's very exciting. I hope it goes well. So, some ideas and some things about version 2. Those freaking things, man. Get over there. Yeah. Stupid sign. Anyways. So the new rules for version 2, after giving it much thought, I know in the New Year's resolutions I said I was thinking about doing interviews for this channel. After more careful consideration, I want to try to avoid doing direct interviews on this channel. There are many reasons for this, but one is because I would rather focus on news stories and current events, and not necessarily cults of personality. Because there are plenty of other YouTube furry channels where cults of personality interact with one another, and I don't think that that would be best served in my best interest to do that here. However, I will, if anybody wants to interview me, and I do mean anybody, drop me a line at Tantra McNally on Twitter, and you can go ahead and ask for it, and I will gladly do an interview for one of your channels if you have a platform. If you don't have a platform to do an interview directly, then, create one or something. I'll give you a video for you to post on your channel of 0 subscribers or whatever. Like everyone who has a Gmail account probably has a YouTube channel, or, if you have a Vimeo channel or whatever. I would rather interviews with individuals be done elsewhere, and there's also a second reason for it other than just like not wanting to do cults of personality, and that is because I basically there is a premise on the internet that when you invite somebody to your channel, you are giving them a platform, and therefore because you give them a platform, they believe that you are for or against somebody else. In the sake of wanting to be coldly neutral in that regard, that means that if I invite anybody in this channel, the first person I invite sets the tone. And I've seen this happen with many channels. Kothrix's channel, Rage Hound's channel. I've seen many furry channels where they will have interviews with individuals, and whoever they pick for their first interview really sets the tone of who is willing to go on an interview. So in order to avoid that sort of stigma, because it is sort of in that sort of thing with even big time press is starting to feel that a little bit, but it's mostly small press or small channels that will get that sort of stigma attached to interviews. But because of that, I think that it would be better served if I were to interview people that either I interview them off camera and just if they have anything relevant to say about a story, then just, you know, if they want to be quoted in for the story, I would do that, something else. But if it was a full-on interview and interaction, then we can do it that way. There was an interview that was done, as an example, by Dashing Foxy's channel, right here, up here. You can watch a full interview I did with him about a month or so ago, and that'll be sort of an example of, you know, sort of what I would sort of allow myself to do, which is having an interview with somebody else on their platform. But I will not be inviting people onto this particular platform for the reasons before stated. So, that long of the short out of the way. Point 2 was, so I'm going to do a Thursday cutoff in coverage. Basically because I critique the press a lot for being, you know, pushing for being first. And instead I would like to push for being more meticulous and a little bit more timing. Because I've done some past videos that were in short order, were pretty much quote unquote hot off the presses. And I fumbled quite a bit, and stories change and things go, you know, more perspective added. And it's like, if I had only waited for that thing, I could have added that information because it's important. So I have to make either an addendum video or something like that. So in order to avoid that, I believe that the best course of action is if something happens in the furry fandom after Thursday, then whatever I was going to talk, like basically the topic that I'm going to talk about should be set in stone at that point. And I should be talking about that particular topic instead of whatever happens over the weekend. For instance, like if Furry Weekend Atlanta had something happen at Furry Weekend Atlanta, which I did a previous video on, you know, I'm not going to talk about it that Sunday. Like if something happens at 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning at Furry Weekend Atlanta, I'm not going to talk about it that Sunday. I'm going to let things go and let things settle down before, you know, adding, you know, any review to it. All right. So that's the idea of that. The third item that I wish to add to the thing is that I do wish to expand the channel a little bit and make sort of a onesie video like every week. Try to make it as quick as possible, make it quick and as sort of formulaic as possible, because most of my Sunday episodes, as you can tell, are somewhat impromptu, as you can tell because I misclicked, and don't really have too much of a format. I would like to try and condense something to post on Thursday morning or Wednesday evening in order to talk about upcoming furry conventions over the weekend. Because there are so many furry conventions that there's almost literally one every weekend now, somewhere in the world. So, you know, talking about those gatherings, their history, their expected attendance levels, expected weather conditions of the area, you know, sort of the expense ratios. Like that would be extreme. Like I might not go that deep to begin with, but you know, because obviously like expense is something you'd have to pre-plan for, so it's not like something that you would be doing the weekend of. It's like if you're going that weekend, you're going that weekend. I might say what the registration cost is, and sort of maybe if there's rooms, I might say how much they cost. But like I don't know if that's I guess I'll take your feedback on what sort of should be doing. I'll definitely do weather of the weather conditions for the area that weekend, you know, so that you can you know what to expect as far as travel goes and stuff like that. But I think it would be a very good thing to do because there have been several conventions in the past, and they're rarities, but like things where traffic conditions really got irked. For instance, Furry Weekend Atlanta, I think a year ago before this one, had that issue with the highway, like like I think it was Highway 400 or something to the north of Atlanta, and it had like this collapse. Like there was like a fire underneath the highway, and the highway collapsed, so it was affecting traffic conditions. And I did an article on that for Flera. Information like that is very useful, and I think that even just the weather and how things are going to go, and sort of links to where they, you could find information, because I think disseminating information is very important to the fandom and is mostly the focus of this channel, more than, as I said, cult of personality. So, that being said, it has been a very somber experience living in this house. Goodbye, my old light switch. I'm not going to touch you because you might zap me. I don't know. I've never touched you with furry paws. I don't want to get this. And goodbye, cord guy, you. That many people have pointed out to me that you're there. Oh, we will miss you. I'll miss you, my plug. This is a plug. I'm plugging things. Yeah. I'll miss you, old plug. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Anyways. I'll miss you, my good old wall. My wall. My nice line. My nice avocado green, whatever the heck color it is. I'm not a painter. I'll miss you all. I'll miss you, house. I'll see you later. I've got to pack it up. Bye, house.